Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
And that's the intentional setup by the SEC, period. And everybody knows it because that's what gives Ethereum the monopoly for now, okay? Now, this is a big deal though, because this is the tide turning. Charles Hoskinson said, I just received a formal invitation to speak before the U.S. House of Representatives Committee on Agriculture and Blockchain Cryptocurrencies. It will be live on June 23rd, 10:30 a.m. Now, what I said is this is a big deal. When's the last time, every time we've seen anybody hauled in front of Congress, it's the same Bitcoin maxis, it's the same people that are backed by JP Morgan, the Ethereum people, it's the same, whether it's Amber Ball debt or government hacks that are really just pro-Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is the first I've seen where we've had a Cardano be invited, somebody other than Bitcoin, Ethereum, maxi types, okay? And this tells me, and we also saw pictures of Charles Hoskinson with Warren Davidson and some others. Now, folks, you in the XRP land, make no mistake, write this down. This stuff, what you're looking at, it doesn't happen unless we stomped up and down for over a year now and uncovered the videos of their own words, the disguise whales, the Ethereum free pass, and all the stuff we found. None of this happens, including the legislation. You know why? Because none of these people were talking about it. Charles Hoskinson wanted to do this. He wanted to go up and talk to these guys. They weren't hearing it because there wasn't enough noise exposing the truth of what was trying to be engineered until the SEC made the fateful decision to sue Ripple. Because that's when everybody said, wait a minute, something's not right here. And it was on like Donkey Kong. And without what we've exposed, these people never feel the pressure to alter the plan. And the plan was to give Bitcoin and Ethereum a monopoly, give Ethereum a monopoly on token issuance, give Ethereum a monopoly on DeFi. And then you've got your money printing machine that JP Morgan had when they left the table in Jekyll Island, Georgia, back 100 plus years ago. It was the same attempt, folks. Same attempt. I bet they wish they didn't have social media now, because if they had it back then, you may not have even gotten the Federal Reserve System. I bet you wouldn't have the Federal Reserve System. Now, check it out. Pay close attention, folks. James Phelan. For your information from this afternoon's Wall Street Journal, Celsius crashing, crypto investors are spooked, Wall Street Journal. Folks, crypto lender Babel follows Celsius in withdrawal freezing, and then Zach Prince from BlockFi does a whole thread on BlockFi. My question, and not to pick on any company here, folks, my question's this. Is there anybody listening to my voice who is going to have any crypto on any of these platforms after seeing what this was with Celsius? If you're I don't want to say that. If you're naive enough to have your stuff anywhere except in a situation where you're controlling your own keys at this point, like with something like I do, like the Ledger Nano S, which will be in the top of this description, then you have lost your ever-loving mind, as they say in the South. Now, this is also some progress, and I believe that this is I think that the Chamber of Digital Commerce and Perry Ann Boring might be beginning to see the writing on the wall, and this too, I believe, is from pressure from the XRP Army community, whatever you want to call it. The senators got this right. The SEC has consistently utilized these backdoor attempts to restrain the crypto market instead of transparency and public engagement. The SEC continues to lead with enforcement. Senator Bill Hagerty, who apparently wants to be a hero in crypto, he has sent them a letter pushing back on backdoor attempt to restrain the crypto market. Good for him. Now, folks, I agree with just about everything Brian Brooks has ever said. But unfortunately, I caught him saying something that is 1,000% wrong, because we have the video. We know for a fact that JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs were involved in Ethereum before the public mainnet launch. We know it. And listen to what he says here. Well, I got to hit the refresh button. And folks, I'm not saying he's not a good guy. He's always been a good guy in crypto, but he's just wrong on this.
Like the Ethereum token is not here to replace dollars. It's here to replace JP Morgan, okay? To create apps that are backed by dollars that are held in a bank.
I hope that I'm going to have to start watching Brian Brooks. I hope he did not just give us what his tell is. We know that Joseph Lubin's tell is rubbing his elbow. We know that Mike Novogratz' tell is going, Did Brian Brooks just give us his tell, which is saying okay after he says something that he knows is not true?
The Ethereum token is not here to replace dollars. It's here to replace JP Morgan, okay?
Okay, as almost as if to say, okay, did you buy that? Because that's just flat out wrong. Flat out. This is right over the target. Listen to this. I think Tether's next, folks. In fact, I'm buying some dips, but I'm holding out. My major dip buying is going to come after this.
It's all about Tether, and Tether has got issues, and no one really knows what's going on with Tether. Now, we have conjectured that they may be tied to Evergrande, and if so, then some of that paper is not worth much. And so as long as Tether can print indiscriminately, they can send a Bitcoin price basically wherever they want to. But once it's discovered that Tether really is a Federal Reserve in disguise and just printing money out of thin air, if that's the case, and many believe it is, then Bitcoin's got a problem going forward.
Folks, I'm going to write this down because this is what I see coming. Remember, Tether has propped up Bitcoin for all these years, folks. It's never made any sense. My dad, the official father of the Digital Asset Investor channel, he said I've always made money when I invested in things that made sense. Not even what my financial advisor told me, but what I knew made sense. And my dad has told me from the day one, XRP and XLM makes sense. Bitcoin and Ethereum, proof of work, does not make sense. And my dad's older, but my dad is one of those guys that's kind of hip and tries to stay with things and follow what's going on. And he's told me 1,000 times that doesn't make. We've had many conversations. Bitcoin and Ethereum doesn't make sense. The U.S. allowing Tether to print at will and affect the Bitcoin market over and over and over to the upside doesn't make sense. It's been done for a reason, in my opinion. And I believe if you want, what do they want? What does Gary Gensler and this government want? They want maximum fear in the direction of crypto. Maximum fear gives them the control they seek. Maximum fear. And when you want maximum fear, crash Tether. Watch. They're going to do it. I have a feeling they're going to do it. Now, back to what makes sense. So we've witnessed this fake market, in my opinion, Bitcoin and Ethereum, for all these years. Meanwhile, the two, and there's others, XRP and XLM, the two that were there from the beginning that have always made complete sense and have always worked, have been doing their thing behind the scenes, building, doing everything. This is Danielle Dixon of Stellar. She's about to come out with smart contracts in the midst of Joe Lubin being made fun of on stage about whether Ethereum 2.0 will ever come out. This is what Danielle Dixon's talking about.
And really, the point here is to make it so that these cross-border payments that really are sort of the cornerstone of what blockchain can deliver. It's really the key focal point for us. Payments are always going to be a really key point of value for Stellar. We're actually building smart contracts onto the network later this year, and there's also automated market makers that are already available there. Those really are going to help to drive liquidity into the market for these payment use cases. And so we've always been focused on anchors. We've always been focused on and off ramps. again, not sexy, but it's sort of been our thing. We have a lot of FOMO sometimes of all the awesome things other folks are doing out there. But for us to be able to sort of deliver on not just like everybody talks about this as the promise, but the value is really cool.
I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that I might split this video in half, and I might just split this thing down the middle because I've got some things I got to do. So if that happens, it happens. Thanks for listening.